This video is brought to you by Aaron Clary, author of The Curse of the High IQ, all of our wonderful fans on Patreon, and viewers like you. Thank you.
The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
So this past Saturday I was out, and I decided I'd stop into my local Toys R Us one last time. The one closest to my house went out of business, so I went over a couple neighborhoods to check it out, and quite frankly, I was surprised at the copious amount of Star Wars merchandise available. Let's do this again. So it seems like the word for today is porgs. Porgs as far as the eye can see. And I can see way too many porgs. And you know what I like to do with them? Aw, that one makes sounds. How cute. Fuck out of here. So here we are with those really expensive interactive Star Wars figures. $99! It's a hell of a deal if you ask me. But everyone else, they don't think it's worth their time. So they're stacked up quite high, and as that guy from Full Metal Jacket said, didn't know you could stack shit so high. Well, Toys R Us and Star Wars has found a way. Oh, and they're too deep as well. Double your pleasure. So as you can see, we have a mishmash of garbage over here. Big BB-8s, big K2SOs, Jyn Ersos, all kinds of stuff. And now this BB-8, I'm surprised it hasn't sold. For the discount price of $149.99, you can get an actual size BB-8 droid. Speaking of droids, here's another one, K2SO. And let's count these K2SOs. So they have 4, 8, 3 more, 11. Quite a few of those K2SOs. And we have more big ones. So, if you'd like your shelf space to roll with K2SO, you have two sizes to choose from. Speaking of wasting space, there's our good friend the Millennium Falcon from the Force Awakens collection. And it even has the battle-damaged box. Collector's item. So, they got the protection tag because someone's going to steal this piece of shit. And over here, there's plenty more. Nobody wants this thing, so why would you think someone's going to steal it? And let's count them. We got 1, we got 2, 3 on this row. And as you can see right here, that battle damage really drives up the value. Make sure you guys pick that version up. And it looks like we have 1 more, 2 more, 3 more. So 6 on this shelf for a total of 8 in the store. 8 Millennium Falcons. That wouldn't have happened in the 70s and 80s. Speaking of something that wouldn't have happened, this Walker languished away on the shelves. So we have 1 and we have 2, but if you notice, that's the exact same one that appears in all my other videos because it has the little insert with the figures missing, and there's 1 more on the floor. Speaking of the floor, this should be in your dumpster. This is the BB-8 action playset that has Rose Tico on the box, everyone's favorite heroic resistance fighter, because she fired guns in the movie, right? And they have what looks like 2 of those. And you get a limited edition Snoke and Praetorian Guard, so for all those adult collectors out there that are going to buy a playset for an action figure, you have plenty to choose from. Oh, Poe Dameron and his not-so-snow speeder from the greatest battle of all of Star Wars, the Battle of Hoth. Great. Now, that Millennium Falcon rings up for $150, and on clearance, you can get it for $105, so $149.99 magically becomes $105. Is that price point magical enough to sell and make people care about Star Wars? No. And there's the face of that dying franchise, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, and Kylo Ren the cuck, aka Kylo Ren the bitch. And this store's falling apart. Kinda sad. But thankfully there's Nerf as far as the eye can see. Nerf, Nerf, everywhere some Nerf. More Nerf from Rogue One, and it looks like we have our friends the Blade Builders. Enough Blade Builders to build a fucking house. So this is the Jedi Sith collection, and they look to be about 5 deep. And there are shelves and shelves of them. You can get a Stormtrooper gun, thankfully provided by Nerf. But I'm surprised the Blade Builders didn't take off. I mean, they light up, they have sound, they're stupid. God. Role-playing isn't the future. Oh, we saw some solo Star Wars story stuff on the shelves. back to our Blade Builder house. It looks like we're going to get an addition. Maybe a pool house. So we have the Kylo Ren Blade Builder. Again, doesn't seem like anybody really wants it. Then again, nobody really wants Kylo Ren. His parents didn't. And these look to be about 6 deep. And it looks like you can connect these to your app. So that looks like fun. And there's 1 shelf, 2 shelf, 3 shelves, 4 shelves. So about 24 of these Blade Builder lightsabers. Wow. What value. Speaking of value, let's look at the action figures, the thing that drives the Star Wars collection. And there's our good friend Constable Zuvio. He's been down since day one, or I should say been up since day one, because no one has bought this toy since September of 2015. That's gotta sting. That's worse than Toy Story 2. So we have 1 Zuvio, 2, 3 Zuvios. Let's check this other row for Zuvio. We got Jyn Erso. Nobody loves her. We're stacking these Zuvios. Maybe we're going to make a little tower. And, oh, there's Finn in his Resistance gear. Or whatever. Empire Strikes gear. And 1 more Zuvio. So a total of 4 Zuvios. So let's stack our Zuvios. Well, doesn't have anything on the Rose Tico tower. But still, those are older, so those are more embarrassing. There's the exclusives, Admiral Akbar and some dude. Nobody cares. And here we are, the action figure. So 3 3/4 inch action figure. The thing that the modern toy industry was built on, and the thing that the modern toy industry will die on. And it seems like a lot of fans are willing to die on that sword by telling you that these toys are the hottest things in the galaxy, but as I can show you in front of you, they're not. So we have some Rogue One stuff mixed in with some stuff from The Last Jedi. That's a decent Darth Vader figure, if only it moved like in the film. But this is the notable thing. These Force Awakens action figures. God damn it, these are old as shit. These are from 2015. These have been in stores since 2015. I think somebody at Toys R Us overordered. And now here we have our good friend Finn. He looks fat as shit in that Stormtrooper gear. Even though John Boyega's not fat. The action figure is not very complimentary. And look at that box art. Yeah. Chewbacca's there. $14.99 is kind of pricey for an action figure and a hunk of shit. The Rathtars, the Hot Wheels. Nobody even drives actual cars in Star Wars, but whatever. Down here is the Force Link 1.0. Ethan Van Sciver owns the 2, but I prefer the 1.0 myself. A classic never dies. The Force for Diversity dolls are well represented, as well as the shampoo-sized bottles of Jyn Erso and her headscarf. Looks like she's making a pilgrimage to Jeddah. More Thinkway R2-D2s. You know what, R2? You should have stayed asleep so you wouldn't have to see what the Force has become. So, this is an interesting sell. This is a Luke Skywalker land speeder for children. And it's the size of a Power Wheel, so that's cool, and it's on sale. And down here, you can see that it has a weight limit of 130 pounds, so the biggest fanboys are just going to have to sit this one out. But it's good for 1 or 2 riders, and it features real land speeder and droid sound effects. Ooh, I'll take 2 myself. And it also includes dialogue from the film, which is awesome. But the weird thing is, they keep telling us to let the past die, but they keep marketing shit from the original Star Wars movies. Disney, you guys cannot have it both ways. You either cater to your fan base, or you don't. And you don't make the merchandise. And you can get this for a whopping $149. I think I will take 2 myself. And now let's look at this thing out of the box. It doesn't actually look too bad. It's actually kind of a cool concept. It's got the battle damage, but it's just too late for Star Wars at this point. Let's let it die. I decided to go next door to a discount outlet, and they had some Star Wars stuff as well. Now, the only reason I filmed this is because it's interesting to see the price discrepancy, so let's get through this Hot Wheel crap, and let's look at this Chewbacca. Now, over at Toys R Us, this was $14.99, with an additional 40% off, but this is still cheaper at $5. Now, for $5, no one's going to buy a Cassian Andor action figure, and that just goes to prove it. Now, this toy aisle's filled with junk, weird puzzles, board games, And that Millennium Falcon's here. Woo! It's like that bread machine in Old School. It follows me everywhere. More of these big figures. We got Kylo Ren, K2SO, Han Solo, a Stormtrooper, and another Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren's trying to reach out and hand me his lightsaber. And I look at him in the eye and I say, no, Kylo. It's time to let you die. And I gave him one of those too. So let's look back at this Millennium Falcon. So, now this is the less rare one without the battle damaged box. I'm curious what this one goes for. At Toys R Us on clearance, it's $105. Here, it's a whopping $49.99. What a deal! We got some Legos, we have some Darth Taters. Down here on the secondary shelf, we have Rey on her Jakku speeder, aka her giant fudge sickle or her puddin' pop. More of those Jyn Ersos. They may be cheaper here, we don't know. Some guy from Rebels, and the saddest looking Stormtrooper you'll ever see. Q Mad World. Down here on this shelf, more garbage, more junk, some Legos. I'm starting to see a lot more Legos at clearance. And ooh, Star Wars Monopoly. I like it. So I checked out Walmart just for the hell of it because it was right across the street, and it looks like the Star Wars section is empty because that $4 price point was the right price point for Star Wars figures. And if you notice, they jacked the price up for the Black Series once again, so when they come back on shelves, they're going to be $18. There really wasn't much to choose from between some Kiras and our good friend, Rose Tico. The 4-pack of Rose Tico. The Rose Tico that you have to buy 3 other figures to collect. The one with the rice flour bag. And she even has her battle damage on her face. Look at the face of that heroic woman. And I dropped it. Oops. I should have left it, but I'm not that kind of guy. You stay there, Rose. Fuck off. Now, this is a first for World Class Bullshitters Toys videos. We're covering the Lego collections. And I thought this was a pretty cool end cap. They had 4 sets for Star Wars Legos, starting with the Dagobah system, which is neat. Everybody loves that scene in Empire Strikes Back. And here we have Han Solo's land speeder. We also have Moloch's land speeder because everybody needs a land speeder, and an Imperial TIE fighter in case you didn't get the 45 other releases from Lego. Now this is just an end cap. It's not a very big display. Ooh, Fanoodles. It's that time of year again. But let's look at how sad Alden, I made the biggest mistake of my career, Ehrenreich looks. Yeah, dude. You're typecast forever. This was so cool that I had to film it. This is an end cap worthy of a Mad Titan. Thanos and the Avengers in Infinity War end cap looks amazing. And, oops, excuse my finger, check this thing out. This was just hanging from the ceiling too. I mean, people like Mantis are displayed on this. Tertiary characters in terms of Marvel are bigger than main event Star Wars people. And then this display is pretty empty. The action figure bins are basically empty. And look how cool this Iron Man statue, well, not a statue, cardboard cutout looks. Now over here we have plenty of posters because people don't really pay full price for posters. Let's take another look at the other side of this thing. This is incredible. I would love to own this. I don't know where I'd put it, but it'd be damn cool. We have some Hulk hands, some Spider-Man web shooters, some action figures, and Batman, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. Let's just remove you. On my way home, I stopped at my local grocery store to admire the heads of lettuce and cabbage and not the celery. But I did notice this. I finally have interacted with a Star Wars branded lettuce. So BB-8 is on my iceberg, even though I'm a romaine man myself. BB-8 is here on my iceberg lettuce, and I couldn't be happier to not purchase this item. Star Wars does not belong on my roughage. So let's just put it back, Jeff, and let's walk away. Now. So those were it for my travels to my local stores to check out the situation of Star Wars. And I didn't mean for that to rhyme, so I apologize. But Star Wars is in a bad place. I'm in a bad place. I mean, it's everywhere I go. Rose Tico, Star Wars, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi. I mean, I'm actually having dreams about this shit. I got this one where... That's not really important, but my point is... Thank you for watching this video. I greatly appreciate everyone that watches it. If you're a fan, make sure you give it a thumbs up, share it, like it, and if you can, join our Patreon page. $1 a month goes a long way. $5 goes even further, and that's only 17 cents a day. So, I'm getting a bit tired. So I'm gonna put this baby to bed, but I'll be back later in the week with more content here on World Class Bullshitters. So once again, thank you for watching, and have a good one.